Hi, Fidel here. I'm going to show you how to ball your dough. On the day that you're planning to make pizza, it's probably a good idea to get your dough balls done. I'd recommend anywhere from 8 to 12 hours before you're having pizza, but sometimes that's not possible, and you just do what you can. I have about 8 hours to go before I'm going to be baking these pizzas, but the shorter the time, the more or the less, how can I say, the less relaxed your dough balls are going to be. So the better relaxed, the easier it is to open out the disc. And between 8 to 12 hours is a good rule of thumb. But you do what you can. But I'm going to show you the technique of how to ball your dough and get ready for dinner. Okay, so get started. What we need here is a scale and a container to put on the scale. We'll be putting our dough balls in here to just check the weight as we go. I'm going to be going for something around 295 grams because recently I made pizzas roughly around 13 inches in diameter. So I'm going to be going for about 295. Got some flour to work with for the bench. We have our pizza dough, and we have some containers, some big plastic containers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the dough ball out, and so what I'm going to do is flour up my surface here, and I'm just going to place this thing upside down. Now, gravity should do most of the work for us here, so while this is going, I'm going to go ahead and flour up my containers. That's one container. And the next container. A lot of this flour will end up getting absorbed over the next 8 hours. But it does help to prevent it from sticking too much. Now, in a dough tray like this, we could probably fit 8 comfortably, but they'll begin to stick together if they're too large. I'm going to be putting 5 each because I only have 10 dough balls today, but it's a pretty good tray. You could probably pick these up for about $8. I picked these up at a home center actually that sold kitchen goods. So that's what I'm using. Okay. You see the dough starting to come out by itself, and I didn't really need to fight with it. As long as you brush the edges with olive oil, should come out pretty cleanly like that, no problem. So, okay. Don't have to degas this too much, as it's fairly easy to work with like this. So if you end up trying to smash it and do any more kneading, you're going to end up having a dough that is a little too tight to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on my scale and put my container on there and zero it out. Don't forget to zero it out. You end up with some smaller than expected dough balls. So let's go ahead and put something in there. It's 302. Take off just a little bit. That's good enough. So I'm not going to ball them yet. What I'm just going to do is set them aside. Okay, 284, 296. That's good enough. 281, 284, that's about 253, 284, what was that, 292, close. Another piece there, 295. Now this dough had a 48-hour fermentation in the refrigerator, and about 7 hours at I hesitate to say room temperature, but it was a little cooler. Window was open, so it was probably about maybe about 60 degrees in that room. Okay, a little bit more dough in there. 290. How's that? 297. That's good enough. Okay. There we go. 270. 288, 292, 290 is a little bit too much. 296. 302, let's do a little bit off that. 292. 6. So it doesn't really matter what shape you're getting here. As long as you get roughly the weight properly. Now, what do I got here? About 309, 308, the last one. So just going to get that down to about 294. Okay. I'm going to cut this into half, half again, half again, half again, half again, half again, half again, half again. Just add these little pieces evenly, roughly. It doesn't really matter, but okay. Now the technique. So basically, you don't need too much flour unless it's really sticky, and just going to gently fold it in on itself. Okay, if you can see that. Okay. You can see what it looks like from the other side. Okay, so you're kind of going for something nice and tight. You can start to see some of the bubbles. Okay, so now that's a pretty good ball. Now if you had too much flour, you'll notice the bottom will try to open up on itself, but this has been pretty closed pretty nicely. So I'm going to do, this is another thing that some professionals in Italy will be doing, is on a more tacky surface, they will roll. I can't do it with my left hand, so I'm just going to try to show you. They'll roll it here. So my surface has too much flour to do that, so basically if it's tacky, it starts to pinch close on the bottom by rolling. But I did a good enough job by hand, and that is a dough ball that is going to relax for another 8 hours. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of these and place them into the dough tray, and another 8 hours later, and I'll show you what a pizza looks like coming out of the oven today. Thanks for watching.